Thank you, everybody, and good afternoon. It's an honor to have a chance to spend a brief Mackinac moment here talking about impact. I'm going to start with a story that happened over 30 years ago. The Amway business started in Malaysia, and we were a couple years old, a small business, but growing quickly, doing pretty well. I had a chance to travel there with my father at the time. I was in high school. And Malaysia is a developing economy at that time. We thought we were doing pretty good. We were going to get a meeting together of a few thousand people. So we invited the prime minister. And by golly, he came. And my father had a chance to meet with him and to talk a little bit about the business and to talk a little bit about economic issues in general. And as the conversation went along, the prime minister was saying, it's a tough time for all of us in Malaysia. He says, our greatest natural resources in Malaysia are copper, tin, and oil. And right now, the price of all those materials on the world market is depressed. And that's really hurting our economy, and we're having a tough time. And then he turned to my father and said, but your business is growing. Looks like you got a lot of excited people here. He goes, what's the secret? And he said, Mr. Prime Minister, you may believe that the greatest natural resources of Malaysia are copper, tin, and oil. But in the Amway business, we believe the greatest natural resources of Malaysia are the people of Malaysia. And in our business, we invest in people. And that's the impact I would like to share with you today. First of all, I can't believe he said that to the Prime Minister. All the things that he and Jay did over the years with our business, I go, wow, you guys are a little crazy. So when I listened to Malcolm Gladwell this morning, I go, okay, I get it. They were a little out there. But the impact moment for me is that our business, and I believe your business, and our future as a state is all about people. And so many times in a business community, others want to put us in a box. And they want to say, you're just all about money. And we have to change that. We have to stand up and be strong and say, we want to make an impact because we don't believe we're all about money. We're all about people. We look after our customers. We look after our employees. We look after the people in our business and in our communities. And so I want to encourage us, if we're going to have an impact as a business community, I think we need to make sure we join together and we say, we're all about people, and we can join with anybody. Any organization, any institution who says that their focus is on people, but the business community's focus on money, say, we're there with you. We're there too because we care about the citizens of the state of Michigan. We care about every citizen of the state of Michigan. And we want to be part of the solution. We're not the only solution. When we talk about public policy and we get engaged, we know we're not the only one, but we're an important piece of the solution. And when you listen to Governor Daniels or President Daniels, or however you want to term the president-governor thing in some point in the past or the future. I'm a Purdue graduate, so I don't know exactly how to refer to him at this point. But we want to be part of the solution. And that solution is economic freedom, economic development. We believe in our business, and I think going to be expanded to business in general, that economic freedom leads to personal freedom. And we've seen around the world that when you don't have, and as was referenced earlier, when you don't have an economic future for yourself personally, it's really hard to care about a lot of other things that the community may want you to care about. If you don't know where your job is tomorrow, or how you're going to keep your home, or how you're going to feed your family, or what your future is, if that's uncertain, it's really hard to care a lot and to really get engaged with the quality of schools or the quality of medical attention, or saying that how can you help from a charitable sense, others in your community that are hurting. We believe those two are connected, and that economic freedom leads to personal freedom. And it's our job. We have a role to play in that. We can have an important impact in the state of Michigan by coming together around those themes. Now, let me kind of break it down into three quick areas here. I think, first of all, it's about creating the right environment. Right? You want to create the right environment. We try to do this in our business. When I talk about that, it starts with our culture. It starts with our beliefs, what we believe, what you believe in your business, and what we all believe about our state. It starts with that. So we believe in economic freedom. We believe in the entrepreneurial spirit and people with an opportunity to have a business of their own. And so that's baked in to our culture. And I think if we want to have an impact, we need to build on those sorts of pieces and create the right environment. Now, we have a fun environment here in Michigan called Relentless Positive Action. And I know that, that this is something that has been hard to get my mind around, because sometimes in business you don't want to be positive. It's really easy to be negative of your competitors or at other things happening in the marketplace or whatever the issue may be. But I think if we're going to have an impact, we can learn from that. That you're relentless, never give up, that we're positive, and that we have the right attitude. I think that's an important element in creating the right environment where people come together, where we don't divide people apart, but we say we want to bring people together, because we can accomplish far more working together than we ever could accomplish if we're not. I think that's an important element for us to remember, to build in that culture and to start to make that the tone of our state. I had a chance recently to speak with the captain of the new aircraft carrier, Gerald R. Ford, Captain Meyer. And he talked about the weapon systems, and he talked about the upgrades that were happening to the ship and all the things that are happening. It's just magnificent. But he said our greatest weapons system is our crew. It's all about the people. And he says, my job on the ship is to set the culture. I interview every new person who's coming on the ship. I pay attention to everything that's going on. And the environment, setting the tone. The second thing I talk about is support. In our business, it's support with the product, support with the operations and services. And you hear that around here, that making sure that our state makes an impact by doing what they do well. We had an opportunity with the head of the Department of Transportation recently in another business group setting, and he was talking about the standards, the measures, the things he's doing to improve service, to improve productivity. Wow. We need to be part of that as well. We need to be part of that support, connecting with our government and connecting with all those who serve the citizens of the state of Michigan. The third area that I talk about is just removing barriers. I think it's important for us to leave a conference like this thinking about the things that we can do to move the barriers out of the way. Sometimes at Amway, I would joke that we are part of the sales suppression team. That we do things as a company to slow us down. And my greatest example of this was when the wall came down between the East and West in Europe, and all of a sudden our business opened. And when Germany unified, we were just open for business. The Amway business exploded as everybody was looking for an entrepreneurial opportunity. We couldn't get a bottle of LOC or anything to support them. We were scrambling all over the place. Finally, we got a shipment. We got all the things manufactured in Michigan. We had them sent over there. We put them on a truck. We sent them into the East. And we never saw it again. And we all looked and said, does anybody know the driver of that truck? Anybody, I'm sure the product got to some customer, but didn't get to our customers. Didn't get to our distributors. What in the world were we thinking? And we put up barriers for our distributors, for the people that we're working with, or for our employees from time to time. I think if we come away from this conference and we want to have an impact on the good things happening in the state of Michigan going forward, we need to make sure we stay together and work together, creating that right environment. We need to make sure that we're engaged with what is necessary to support the great people, the citizens of the state of Michigan. And then thirdly, what we need to do is make sure we are helpful in removing the barriers. Now, I'd like to have a list of 1,000 or so things that have happened, but I know that there's somebody else who does have that list. And to see that we have people that have been elected to offices throughout the state and who are working for the state and are working for the citizens of Michigan, who are paying attention to that sort of a list and are working through it to empower the citizens of the state of Michigan, then we know we will have impact on a future that we dream about, and that we'll do it together. Thanks, everybody.